Hello, friends, and welcome back to our actual play of Vermin 2047, part of our Wasteland Wednesdays series. This game is by Studio Agate and is a really fun post-apocalyptic role-playing game, and we're really enjoying it. We are playing the survival kit, so please let us know what you think of this game in the comments. Please like and subscribe, join us on Discord, link is down below. Let us know how much you're enjoying this adventure. So, with Devious Dungeons, Foreboding Forests, and the Coolest Cats. My name is Phil, and welcome to the Dark Orb. Hey, and here we are with our illustrious team. Welcome to our GM, Neil of Paladin Roleplaying. How are you, sir?
Hello, Phil. I'm very good, thanks. I've had a busy day at work, and I've rushed home with the excitement of playing Vermin with you all. So I'm excited to get going.
Last time, and I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Mr. Chris Taco, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Awesome.
I'll have the same excitement as Neil. I just went from this monitor to this monitor, so.
But I mean, there was quite a lot of exercise involved in doing that, right?
I've been working my waist rotations. Yeah, I'm really getting some really good muscles in my waist. Yeah.
Are you well wasted? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah.
Johnny, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah,
Amazing.
Really excited to be here.
One thing that I need to do, and we'll do this very shortly, is rearrange us all on the screen into the places where we were. But yeah, I'm curious to know how excited you all are for the continuation of this adventure. I've got to say, it's not quite what I imagined. I don't know why, because I've got it on the shelf up there. So it's not like I haven't got access to it. But I don't know. I think they've done a really interesting job of setting here. I mean, obviously, a lot of this is down to Neil as GM as well. But it doesn't feel like a conventional kind of run-of-the-mill apocalyptic adventure to me so far. And I quite like that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they've done a really nice job.
Right. So I now have the opportunity to do that. And of course, I need to do as we always bundle the game up, bundle the entire adventure up.
Okay, yeah, go on.
And I'm going to throw it over to Neil. Is he going to catch it?
Yeah!
Alrighty. We'll hand it over to you, Neil. And thank you very much for coming back for the second installment of the Vermin 2047 Survival Kit. I think that's right. Let's do it.
Cool. So, first thing I wanted to do is, last time because we were getting the feel for it, I said, let's not use the party rules. And actually, I think my feeling of the system is it didn't turn out to be quite as crunchy as I anticipated. And the party rules are pretty simple. So let's bring those in for this session onwards. And really, it just means two things. There's some party abilities. Yes, Phil?
If it's party rules, can I start my drink now, please?
Hey! Cheers.
Cheers. If you're drinking at home, let us know what you're drinking.
Some party skills and the party pool is basically all it is. It's a pool party, you could say. So your party's totem is set. I think probably in the full game you'll be able to choose, but for this it's set. And so your party totem is the symbiote. I never know how to pronounce that word exactly. And that gives you access to party abilities, which are available to all of you. If you've got the book in front of you, they're on page 70. But I'll quickly read them out. You've got 2 level 1 abilities. The first one is Unity, which means collective actions performed by all party members gain an additional 1d bonus. And the second one is Expertise, and this involves a decision, which you can make now. Once per day, the players may choose the advanced or expert skill of a party member. Until the next time the characters fully rest, all successful actions involving the chosen skill gain an additional success, even if some characters do not have the chosen skill. So I guess that's the idea of one person kind of sharing their expertise with the group to make everyone's chances better. So let's pick that for today. So it needs to be an advanced or an expert skill that one of you has got. So that means either 2 or 3 dots marked on the skill, which gives you a fair choice between you. Whatever you think is going to be most useful, I guess.
Well, I have psychology. I don't know if that would be. I'm kind of presuming we're going to meet somebody this week because we didn't meet anybody last week. There's going to be somebody in this village.
So I guess my question, and I'm metagaming a little bit here, I guess a little bit, is this going to apply for the next adventure if we finish this one during this session?
Well, it's per day. So
it depends on whether you let us have a nap.
Day.
Yeah, an in-game day. Yeah,
it's the evening, though, right?
It's between long rests. It's kind of it's late afternoon, early evening. Yeah.
Okay.
So actually, you'll have a chance to reset it probably pretty soon.
Yeah.
Well, you will. Yeah.
I mean, I've got another one to throw in the mix, so I do have it's 3 expert. I've got expert in firearms.
Yep.
That sounds like a good one. I mean, if you got that good skill in firearms, that's almost like psychology, right?
It's very similar, yeah.
Does it have to be 3 expert or above?
No, it could be 2 or 3, advanced or
Could be
expert.
2.
I guess the other question is, what do we want, rather than saying what we've got.
And when do we want it?
When do we want it? Probably in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think firearms sounds like a good shout.
Firearms or firearms or
firearms is only 1
vigilance.
dot.
Vigilance wouldn't be too bad.
Vigilance could be good. Just to throw out what I've got mechanics, steer, close combat, athletics, and brawl, all at advanced or above.
Yeah, I've got jury rig, steer, and technology. So I don't mind. Whatever you feel is best.
Well, I didn't actually ask the question before I suggested firearms. Do you have a gun?
I have a gun.
Yeah.
I don't.
12 doesn't, no.
Okay.
But I'm pretty good with close combat, so.
Okay. Should we go to firearms then? Yeah.
We might be able to steal a gun.
Firearms?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So that is your expertise skill for the day.
Neil goes, right, it's the end of the evening, and now you're preparing for sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, just don't forget that other one about if you all do something together, you get 1 dice bonus.
Yeah.
I will forget that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
The other thing is you now have access to the party pool. So just like you've got 2 individual pools, nerve and strain, which you can borrow dice from to increase your rolls, you can also take dice from the party pool. And there are 3 plus 1 for each party member. So you've got 6 dice in your party pool. And you can use them as if they were nerve dice, which remember you spend before you roll, or you can use them as if they were strain dice, which you spend after you roll. So they can be either of the party.
Okay.
Your own pools refresh when you rest. The party pool only refreshes when basically good things happen for the party. So when something morale boosting happens, or you have some big success or something, that's when they refresh. So they don't automatically refresh. You're supposed to get a majority vote before using party dice.
Okay.
So at least one other person needs to agree, basically. And that's it, really. That's the party rules. It's pretty simple.
Party!
There are some
Party
options
hardy!
we won't use. And the 30-second recap of the rules. You're rolling your number of... So D10 dice pool, you're rolling a number of D10 equal to your trait. plus any extras that you get for your skill, which could be extra dice or a reroll. Plus, you get a 1 dice bonus if you have a speciality that could be said to apply. And you get a 1 dice bonus if you have a piece of equipment that could be useful.
I'll forget all of that. So I'm going to need reminding.
So
yeah, there's one thing I have to do.
And as well, on the skills, if you've got dots in the middle,
yeah,
you have to get additional successes.
No.
Is that right? No.
Well, yes, but only if you don't have that skill.
Right.
If you've got that skill, those dots in the middle don't apply.
Cool.
Because the dots in the middle basically say this is an expert skill. You need to be an expert at it. So if you are an expert at it because you've got a rating, then that's fine. But it means if you're not, because you have 0 for that skill, then it just means it's extra difficult for like a novice or an untrained person. That's the thinking behind that.
I always wondered why 12 as a mechanic had expert in mechanic, but then had 2 dots next to mechanics. I was thinking, it makes it harder. I've got to get more successes, even though I've got... Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. That's great.
So,
thank you.
Yeah, so the dots in the middle are the same for everyone. So mechanics is always a 2-dot skill. So in other words, if you're not trained in mechanics, it's especially difficult to work out what the hell you're doing with a engine or whatever. But for you, it's not, because you are trained in that skill.
Great.
It's quite a good little system, actually, I think.
Sorry, I've just got one more question as well. Sorry to
go ahead.
I'm really eager to get into this because I remember we left it on a cliffhanger last time, and I'm eager to see what happens. I've noticed with skills, my skill, I've got machine with a cross through it.
Yes.
What does that mean?
So you've each got just one of the 6 categories that's marked in that way. 12 and Mono both have machine, and Ira has man. And that indicates that it's your specialist domain.
Yeah.
And there's some optional rules around this, but I think we'll just use the sort of basic version, which is that if you try and do something with one of the skills in your specialized domain and it's easy difficulty, which means your target number is 5, you don't even roll, you just succeed, because that's your area of expertise.
Cool. Great. Thank you.
No worries. So, on the way to the place on the map that you've noticed that you think may be a good site for your orphanage that you want to set up, you spot a storm coming in. You know there's been some nasty storms recently, so you need to find some cover, and you locate on the map a little village. You head towards it. It's all totally overgrown, totally empty. You scout it out a little bit. Realize it looks reasonably safe. In you go. You park up the van in some cover, and then leave the van, go on foot into the village, and start to look around for somewhere to spend the night. And you find a suitable looking old cottage, but you also notice some footprints. A set of footprints from a boot, and also right next to them, bare feet. And you think this seems a little bit odd. And you also notice that the village is really, really quiet. No animals even. No insects. Like, quite oddly, maybe unnaturally quiet, which kind of raises some suspicions for you. So you decide, I think Ira pointed out quite obviously correctly, when the storm comes, it's going to wash away these footprints. So let's follow them now while we can. And so you start to follow them. They sort of lead you winding through the village. But unfortunately, you have slightly misjudged when the storm was going to break. And whilst you're following these footprints and you're out in the open, the heavens open with golf ball size hailstones suddenly, like in the space of 10 seconds, just suddenly pelting down, kind of bouncing off you, bouncing off Ira's wheelchair. Everyone that hits you feels like you're being whacked by a baseball bat. it's absolutely not an option to stay out in this storm. And that's where we left it. So you're at one sort of bit of one kind of edge now of the village, still a little way in though, not like right at the edge. The cottage that you originally found that would have been good for shelter, of course, it's probably not the only place that's good for shelter, but that's one place that you scoped out. That's now, I think it's not that far behind, but it's probably a good 500-600 meters behind you where you've been following these tracks. So it would take a little while to get back there, but of course there's other buildings around you. You're in a kind of a narrowish sort of alley, sort of down between two buildings. So there's no doors or anything immediately next to you, but if you go, either further along or turn around and backtrack, there's plenty of buildings around. So that's where we start. So these hailstones are pelting down on you. You need to do something quick. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna activate turbo on my wheelchair so it goes extra fast and drains the battery. I'm gonna go forwards because I'm facing forwards. It's easier to carry on for me. I'm going to aim for the first door that kind of comes up that seems accessible. I'm going to shout to the others and say, let's get to one of those doors. Get inside the building.
Good idea.
Right behind you.
Why are you guys so relaxed?
Okay, so you actually, how fast does it? I'm wondering if it says on your show, how fast does your wheelchair go? Is it like walking speed, running speed? Do we know?
It doesn't say.
Doesn't say. Okay.
No.
I mean,
but I do have a handicap to my mobility, so
yeah. I mean, it is quite souped up, isn't it?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it probably goes reasonably
I mean, I do walking
fast.
pace at least. Yeah, so
yeah, at least walking pace. But
yeah.
I'd say probably a bit faster, actually. I imagine.
Yeah.
But probably not as fast as 12 on mono could sprint.
Running.
Yeah. So then that begs the question then for 12 and mono, if you can go faster, do you? Or do you stick with Iron? Or are you going to like go and try and scout something out or run ahead or for that matter, the other way?
We're in an alley, and I'm guessing there's nothing around. For me, I think 12 would be looking to sort of protect the others. And if there's nothing that she can grab and lift over, hold over Ira's head while she's moving, I think she'd probably run ahead and get that door open, ready, make sure that Ira could get in. Something like that. She'd be trying to protect the others as best, or get them out of harm's way as quickly as possible.
12, if you run ahead to the door over there, I'll try and push faster. So I'll get behind the wheelchair and actually
all right.
So I'll actually try and make the wheelchair go faster.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So, that's what you do. So 12 runs ahead. Mono, you scoot round to the back and try and push and give Ira an extra boost. 12 then is the first person who runs out the end of the alleyway, and it's even just the sort of few seconds that it takes you're kind of being pelted with these enormous hailstones, and of course it's really loud as well, like they're bouncing off of like rooftops, and you hear glass breaking, and it's completely, the village is pretty kind of done in anyway, but it's completely demolishing any less strong structures in the village. You run out of the alleyway into a much more main road. You quickly look right and left. There's a number of doorways, and so you have to sort of make a snap decision about which of these buildings is going to offer us the best protection. So could I please get a perception plus, what is this going to be? Let's go for civilization, I think. No, because this is a ruined village, so ruins would make more sense. Perception plus ruins. And because of the stress and the speed that you've got to make this decision, and the fact that the Hailstone is making everything hard to see and kind of just flummoxing you a bit, it's going to be a handicap 2, which means you're going to need 2 extra successes, so 3 successes total.
I don't think I'm going to be able to do that.
You can always
two
spend...
dice. Oh, true.
Yeah, well,
okay.
so
I've got 2 dice perception.
Yeah.
Ruins, I think I've got. Is that a -1 to the dice? It's got the dot.
So you've got no dice in ruins, but yeah, it's a handicap 1 skill, which takes the handicap up to 3, which means you need 4 successes on 2 dice. So it is impossible unless you spend dice from your pool.
I'm also short-sighted. -1 dice.
You are, aren't you? Oh no!
We picked the wrong person to do this, lads.
So it's up to you then. You may just want to pick a door at random, or you could spend a bunch of dice. You've got the party dice as well as your 2 individual pools. Well, I think you'd spent quite a lot from your pools already, haven't you?
I hadn't spent too heavily. I think I've got decent pools. I'm just terribly short-sighted, which is going to make me not the person to see things. Could I do a different roll? Perhaps, because I remember there was like different, tractors, cars, things like that.
Yep.
Could I, using my mechanics skill, do a perception and say, is there any place where we can get into that's safe, like a van or a tractor?
Okay.
Or perhaps would we have known that from when us just walking through the village before? Would I know that there's nothing there?
So you definitely passed as you were coming through some sort of abandoned buildings, and because you were following the tracks, I guess you wouldn't have paid them all that much attention. So there are vehicles around for sure. You probably would want to avoid anything with a sort of a glass windscreen, because they probably aren't going to survive. But something like a van would work. Yeah, it's not the sort of thing you've seen all that many of, though.
I think maybe then I'm just going to have to either go random or spend some dice from my pools then, and just find a decent place. I've got to roll 4 successes.
Yeah, and it's going to be difficulty 7.
7. So 7 or above.
7 or above.
And I've got 1 dice at the moment.
You got 2, I think, haven't you?
I've got 2 dice perception, and I've got the -1 dice for the short-sighted, I believe.
No, it's not -1 dice. It's +1 success required.
Okay. Okay. Oh, so that's the 4, is it? So I've got 2 dice at the moment.
2 dice,
and I've got
yeah.
4.
And you've got to make 4, yeah. So don't forget, you could nerve dice you have to declare before you roll, but strain you can declare afterwards. So you could spend a couple. You could spend a couple of party dice.
Is there any way that either Ira or I could help by also actually looking forwards?
I don't see why not. You could have a very sort of quick, hurried sort of discussion. And what about over there? No, what about that?
I mean, Ira has ruins, so
okay. And does Mono have?
I don't, but maybe Ira's ruins could add to the dice pool somehow.
How much have you got in perception?
2.
So, 2. Okay, so you need either 3 in the trait or to have the skill. So in that case, Mono can't really help.
No,
but Ira can. So yeah, that's nice actually. Good thing.
Ira just shouts ahead, "Look for one with a roof."
I'm always telling you to look up where you're going. Look up. Always staring at your phone.
Right. And does the nerve pool refresh after we've rested?
Nerve and strain both refresh after you've rested, although depending on how stressed out you are and or how well you rest, they may not refresh fully.
Right.
But yes, they both, like if you have a really good night's rest in complete comfort, then they'll both completely refresh.
Okay. So if I got a +1 dice from Ira.
You have. So you're now on
Right.
3.
Okay. I've got 6 left in my nerve, so if I use 4 of them.
Okay.
Why not take a party dice? See, how much strain have you got?
I've got 6 in nerve, 6 left in strain.
So why don't you take 4? Have 4 dice. So 1 from the nerve, the party pool, and then however many you fail, use strain or party dice to
build it up.
So, yeah. So you don't waste dice because you've still got
a good idea.
dice to react with.
Yeah. Okay. So
don't forget. Also, you will be losing strain and nerve dice as a result of the situation.
Exactly.
Right. So would 3 nerve from my pool seem okay? And then 1 from the party nerve.
Is that a bit overkill? That'd be 6 dice.
I need 4. That would give me 7 dice, and then I've got to get 4 successes.
I wouldn't use any from the strain pool.
I haven't used any from strain.
No,
just 0 from my nerve,
first.
1 from the party nerve.
Roll 5 dice in total.
Yeah. Then we'll work out how much we're missing.
Okay. So hang on. There's a 9, a 7, 2 6s, and a 4. So I've got 2 successes there.
Okay.
So now you need 1 from strain, 1 from the party pool. Seems fair.
Yeah. The odds are against us.
Do we not need to have another? Yeah, the odds are against us with that.
That's all right.
Well, so hang on. So
that's right.
I'm sure you can only do this once as well, right? You can choose this once. You can't keep adding.
It's a good question, actually. I'm going to check.
It makes sense to build up the tension, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll use all your strain.
Well, if I use 3 of my strain,
to give yourself 4 dice.
Use 3 of my strain and 1 from the party pool. That gives me 4 dice to roll to try and get 2.
50-50.
Do you know what? Actually, I've just checked the rules, and you can. Which I think you're right, Chris. Maybe it would be maybe sort of more fun if you couldn't. But the rules say, if we play it rules as written, strain dice can be spent and re-rolled 1 by 1. So you can literally spend 1, roll it, sit, and just keep. Oh, spend another one. Spend another one.
Spend 1 from the party
decide
first.
to stop, or you...
That kind of makes sense because you're only hurting yourself. Yeah.
Spend 1 or 2 from the party first, because actually we're all getting hit by this.
Yeah, I'd say 1 more from the like minimum 1 more from the party pool. Yeah.
Okay, that's a 4.
God's sake, 12.
Sorry. It's a 1. Then we died by hail. Right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed watching.
The end.
A 2.
Okay, I think just give up now.
Give up.
We failed the roll.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I've used. I'll just say I've taken 3. So I take 2 strain and 1 from the party. So I've taken 2 nerve.
Yeah.
So I had 3 dice at the beginning. 2. I've marked myself off for 2 nerve.
I made it 5.
And then I've rolled 3 extra dice. So if I just take those as strain.
I'll do 1 party dice. So yeah.
Do 1 party dice. You happy with that?
Yeah. Yeah. We'll be down 2 party dice, won't we? No, sorry, 1 party dice.
1 party dice. Yeah.
Yeah. 1 plus 0 is 1.
Yep. So we're on 5 party dice.
5 party dice. Okay.
Glad you're tracking it.
Yeah.
So, Johnny, 12 runs out it kind of looks around. There's all these doors, and you're like, oh fuck! And hail's pelting on you. You just pick a door at random. Kind of, they all look the same, basically. You know what is it? It's a ruined village. It's just cottages, whatever. So you just pick the nearest door. Just as Ira and Mono are coming out of the alleyway behind you, run into this door. So it's slightly ajar, and you kind of kick it open, run inside, and you're just about to shout, "Follow me!" When you pass through the door, and you realise actually what you couldn't see from the outside is that the roof has just completely fallen in, and you walk in, it doesn't offer any protection at all, and it's just as bad inside as it is out. So you quickly turn back around, like try a different one. You all take. So this is the slightly odd way that damage works in the system. I think it's quite good. So you all take 5 damage, but before you mark anything, in a combat you get to defend. Obviously, you can't defend against hailstone particularly. So it's 5 damage minus your armor. So if you look at your armor rating, so that's 2 for 12, 4 for Ira, and actually Mono, you have a rating of 1/3 brackets H.
That's nice and obvious.
Is it's 1
1/3 on one hand.
Yes, it's third. Sorry, it's 1. You're putting me off. It's 1 or 3 against damage type H,
which is hail.
Which is hail, exactly. Which is hit damage.
Okay.
Which this is.
Okay.
So against like slashing or like a bullet, it wouldn't be. It'd only be 1. But against hit damage, it's 3. So it's 6 minus your armor rating.
Now, I'm going to ask a really stupid question. I'm looking at my character sheet, and I can't work out where my hit points are.
Hit points? No. Well, this is why. If you look at the top right, we don't really do hit points. You've got wounds.
If I was clever, I'd have my character sheet available to show people. I don't. So I'm going to do this. Hang on. If I do that, and then keep talking, Neil.
There we go. Yeah, so you've got wounds, and you've got those 3 numbers there, 2, 5, and 9. And those are your thresholds. So if you take less than 2 damage, you actually suffer no wound, because that's below the lowest threshold. If you suffer between 2 and 5, or 2 and 4, that's minus. If you hit 5, then that's serious. And if you hit 9, that's lethal. And so you cross off one of those circles. Some of them will already be pre-crossed off. So the black ones are already crossed off. So it's only the white ones that you've actually got available. So work out what damage you've just taken. So 6 minus your armor.
Okay. So that'd be
then
2 for me.
Compare that with the threshold and mark one of the white circles off of that threshold. See what I mean?
So, sorry, was it 6 minus our armor or 5 minus armor?
Sorry, 5. Sorry, it was 5. Sorry. Yeah,
5 minus armor.
Yeah.
So 1, I wouldn't take any damage.
No.
Because it's below mana.
Exactly.
If it's 2 or higher, you take mana. 5 or higher, you take serious. Okay, got it. So I don't take any damage.
Oh, cool.
But if it's the same, then that's damage, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I understand.
So that's a minor for me then.
And so minor for you, exactly. Yep. And
2
minor for 12 as well.
Very dare you. Stupid hail.
I think I just take my shin pads and put them on my head.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
There is a sort of a bit of a death spiral mechanic in this game that you'll see on that wound section to the right for each level of injury minus a certain number of dice. So as soon as you take any wound to that level, you immediately suffer that dice penalty on every roll until the wound heals. So if you've got a minor, it's really harsh. Yeah. If you've got a minor wound, that's 1 die penalty on every single roll whilst you've got it. And if you've got a lethal wound, it's minus 3 dice, which makes virtually everything impossible.
You can't do anything.
Yeah. So getting healed is kind of a priority. Okay, so the Hailstones are doing a number on you.
And the number is?
It's beginning to hurt. So you've come out onto this this much more main road. 12 has successfully found a place where you shouldn't stay. To put a positive spin on it. What are you going to do? Are you just going to dive through one of the other doors, or are you going to try something else?
I think I'm going to reverse out, yeah. Go 2 houses down, presuming the houses.
Mm. Yeah.
So say the roof might collapse in the next one. So
Okay,
logically go to the...
I'm kind of imagining that 12 shouts, "No, this one," and we just like run straight past.
Okay. So I think speed is going to be of the essence here. Rather than perception. No, it's not. So I think this is going to be a...
Can I have steer? Because I'm behind pushing it.
I mean, I can steer. Both have steer.
Yeah, all right. I'll give you it. So let's say, so it's going to be different actually. So for mono, it's going to be vigor because you're exerting a lot of force. So it's going to be, let's give mono vigor plus steer. Let's give Ira reflexes plus steer.
Okay, so that'd be
and
3 dice for me.
12 vigor plus athletics.
Remind me what the 1 pip means.
That means if you don't have it...
If you don't have it, you can't do it. Or something.
No, you can do it, but it means you need an extra success.
Okay.
Now, I have 2 things in my bonus and malices. I believe they cancel each other out here. Because I have resolute and mobility. So resolute is +1 dice, mobility is -1 dice.
Okay.
So I think I really want to find somewhere to go, but I'm in a wheelchair and being pushed along.
Yeah.
So they probably just cancel each other out, right?
Why not? Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But I will add a dice from my nerve pool.
Okay.
And I'll go down to 8 in my nerve pool. That'll give me 4 dice.
So this is going to be... So you only need 1 success.
Okay, I nailed that.
Oh, no, hang on. Maybe that's not true. It's not perception. Oh, yeah. So we have got... Cancel that. Got these very, very strong winds. Plus the hailstones themselves. So actually, it is going to be a handicap 2. So 3 successes required. And difficulty, not that difficult actually, because you've only got to run to a door. Not very difficult in itself. So difficulty is only going to be 5. So it's an easy.
Okay. I'm going to stick with the 4 dice then.
I got 3 successes.
Nice.
Only because I got a reroll on steer.
I got 3 successes as well.
Oh, sweet.
7, 9, 7, 4. Yeah.
What about 12?
I'm not looking good here, I don't think. I had 4 dice to roll. Let's see how it did, and I've only got 1 success out of those 3. Yeah.
You're only aiming for 5, right? So you got 3 below 5.
Yeah, I got a 1, a 4, and a 3, and 10.
So how easy is it to make a new character in this game?
I've got a couple of spare, haven't I?
Oh, actually, you know what? I shouldn't even roll 3 dice because I should have the -1 dice, shouldn't I, for my wound?
Yes.
Oh, shoot. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so you can, if you want, if you've got printed character sheets, the little sort of boxes below your traits are for just ticking off to remind you that you've got minuses. You don't have to use them, but that's what they're for.
The only other thing, does that qualify for the party action of unity? Because we're all doing the same thing. So would you have got that dice back? Because you get 1 dice.
Yeah. Go on then.
We are kind of doing the same thing with different roles, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if it means literally the same role or the same action.
I think it's kind of I think it's kind of open, but well, as soon as you've already rolled, let's say that's the case.
Yeah.
Go on then, if you insist. Our GM's really nice.
So, Johnny, are you going to spend extra strain dice or party dice, or are you just going to?
Do you think I should roll another couple and just see if I get 5 or above on those two? I know it's like a 50-50 on each, but I've had pretty terrible rolls up till now.
It's up to you. Either way, it's going to hurt you.
Through the 3. Either come on.
Really?
No.
Oh dear. So I'm afraid you're gonna. So I think what happens here is because Mono is pushing Ira, they've got the combined kind of force. That they just, and also Mono's pretty. Well, mind you, 12's actually pretty strong and kind of tough as well. But so Mono and Ira kind of just power on through, just make it into this doorway.
Slam it shut behind us.
Immediately, once you get in, no house stones. You look up and there's a solid roof above you. But
sorry, can I just ask one more question? Because I realised I didn't perhaps give myself as much. I do have it's a reroll sign on my athletics. Does that just give me a reroll on 1, or is it the?
So what? Yeah. So the black one gives you an extra dice, and the white one doesn't give you an extra dice, but instead gives you a reroll.
And just one of them, or all of them?
Just one of them. Just one of them. Yeah.
Just one of them. Do I re-roll 1 and then see if I want to spend another?
You may as well.
Probably should.
Sure.
It's a 4. Nah.
Oh wow, that's really bad rolling.
Do you feel the strain?
What are the odds? Yeah.
So I'm afraid you're going to take the same damage again. So 5 minus armor. So another minor wound.
Does that give me 2 minus dice? Or
no,
is it just
the dice penalties don't stack. So it's
but what happens if you run out of minor wounds?
If you run out of minor wounds, then any further ones you have to
go up the chain.
Go up a level.
Yeah.
But then I'm not going to ask you to roll again because you are basically just running for a doorway. So we've established that you don't make it especially fast, but of course you do make it. So after taking a bit more of a beating, and I think probably, it's windy, maybe a gust of wind comes, you probably slip on the wet floor. Maybe one of the hailstones kind of knocks you on the head and you sort of stagger for a minute, but then you kind of recover, you sprint for the doorway and join the other two inside, and you all take a bit of a breather. You all lose 1 dice to your nerve pool because of the stress. But you are at least reasonably safe. The building you find yourself in is that what you're going to ask?
I was going to ask you, what kind of building are we in?
Yeah. It's a cottage, 2 floors. There's a few bits of sort of mouldering, broken furniture. Kind of a table with a leg kind of bent in, that's sort of leaning over. A couple of sort of knackered chairs and like a sort of Welsh dresser against one wall. I mean, it's pretty clear no one's been in here for some time. It's all very dusty. There's some where some soil has kind of blown in through one of the broken windows. Some little kind of plants have started growing, but it is very secure. It's one of the sort of older buildings, but big thick walls, a bit like the one you found initially. It's been here for hundreds of years and is pretty sturdy, so it'll be doing a good job for the next however long you need it.
Can I dig out of my backpack, whatever I'm carrying my stuff in on my wheelchair, bring out the road map and just try and figure out which way the footsteps would have gone if we'd have been able to carry on?
Okay. Yeah.
It's like would there be like a feature on that would be on a roadmap that say it might have gone there? That seems logical, like a jetty or like a main road or something.
So I think it would be pretty obvious too. You'd be able to quite easily work out that they were headed in a certain direction. So let's say that you, on your big journey, you're heading east, and you stopped off at this village, and so that's the way the road goes, or such as it is, and the footprints as you were following them looked like they were heading north-ish, and actually on the map there's nothing really north. That's where the forest is. So you had farmland on the south and forest to the north. So it just kind of looks like they head into the forest.
Okay. There's going to be no supplies in the forest. Why would we bother going up there?
Is it possible they've made some cover? They may have made some sort of camp or something. They know that people come to the villages and search. Maybe they want to stay nearby, but yes, the cynic in me thinks maybe they watch the village, and then when people come by, then it just seems so quiet here, though. I don't understand it, No animals, no nothing.
I didn't think about that option if they're watching us. Maybe we should go back and get the truck.
I think maybe we should try to leave this place sooner rather than later, because there's nothing around here for some reason. Even if we don't know what it is, I don't want to wait until and find out, maybe.
Would we have an idea of how long this storm would last?
It's given previous storms, it's probably going to be like, it might not be as intense. Like the hell probably won't go on all that long, but you'd imagine it's probably going to be most of the night. You're probably stuck here all night, you'd imagine.
Okay. We could make something out of the Welsh dresser as like a tortoise shell to get back to the van.
I do have jury rig as a skill, so this isn't out of the question.
I have Smith weapon. Does that count?
I have both of these things.
We are the A team.
Yes, exactly.
We do have a van.
Yeah, it's a black van with a red stripe down.
That is no canon.
Did you guys bring any tools with you?
I always carry my tool belt.
Well, if you want to make a solid oak umbrella, we could probably make something out of that sideboard.
There is an alternative. We could just stay here for the night.
If we stay here for the night, the truck will be gone in the morning.
Who's going to drive it? I have the key.
Yes, plus who's going to be able to, once they take the van, if they did want to steal the van, they've got to drive it out of its safe place, and these hailstones, they will pepper it. It wouldn't be worth it. They would have to wait until the storm has passed, so perhaps Mono is right. We just wait here until the storm passes.
At least until the worst is done with, we can...
Is there an upstairs to this cottage? Is it like a two up, two down?
Yep.
And are the stairs clear? Could we go upstairs and kind of look out the window ideally to the north?
He's looking to see if there's a 4-poster bed.
Oh wait, I can't do the stairs.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna get out my wheelchair upstairs. Yeah. I'm now on my crutches.
Can we check for anything
traps
that we for traps, for anything that we think might be useful or might be dangerous here? I think perhaps specifically if it's an old cottage, there might be like if it's a farm's cottage, maybe there's a shotgun, or if there's any fuel or any sort of fire lighting sort of materials, things that would be quite probably obvious, but Just want to sort of get a lay of the land.
So I'm not going to ask you to roll. I'm going to remind you one thing that I forgot to say at the little kind of recap is when you were passing through the village, one of you, can't remember which one, spotted a little cross marked by the doors of all the buildings, which is the sign, the sort of survivor's sign that this building has been thoroughly searched.
Was there that cross on the door?
Well, I mean, you didn't notice on this one, but it was on the door of pretty much every house you went past. So it doesn't surprise you massively when you have a bit more of a, after all, you've got the time, so you have a reasonably thorough explore of the place, and it's a pretty small place, doesn't take very long, and there's nothing apart from, like I say, a few bits of kind of furniture. There's nothing, certainly no guns or.
Are there any old glasses we can give to 12? Yeah. Those you can buy from Boots without a prescription. Those.
Is there any toilet paper?
Glasses? I don't think glasses.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. That's what you mean.
Is there any toilet paper, or is this like a proper apocalypse sort of setting?
Is that your definition of apocalypse?
Yep.
There's no toilet paper. Yeah, there's some toilet paper.
Yeah, well, like, are we talking like 2019 levels of desolation?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, obviously it's not nearly that bad. Yeah.
It's that rough stuff you get in like public toilets, though.
Yeah.
It's not
the shiny stuff from school.
Yeah.
Tracing paper. Sorry, everyone.
Just reliving our worst nightmares.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Literal toilet humour.
So I guess your question is...
Yeah, so the windows point north?
Yeah,
all of them.
Sorry, let's get to the toilet paper question first, though.
Yeah, so there's just one window from one of the bedrooms upstairs that points out to the north. It's getting just a little bit dark now. Not proper dark, but sort of twilight. Plus, obviously, there's the hailstone makes it quite hard to see. You can see the sort of rest of the village stretching out just a little way. It's not, like I said, it's not a big village. You can make out all the barricades have been put all around the village, so you can make out the barricades. And then there's actually, now you come to look at it, there are some buildings, I think, given the lighting levels and the rain, probably can't really make out too much detail. But there are some buildings outside of the barricades, so set another sort of 500 meters further outside the village. And then pretty much a very short distance after that is where the trees start and the forest proper starts.
Just to get a proper idea, these barricades, are they just kind of makeshift?
Oh, totally makeshift.
Barricades, or they're like proper, like Walking Dead kind of?
No, they're very makeshift. They're
so you could get over them or whatever.
It's rusty tractors, logs, just whatever people have got. Just
So we could go that way directly if we needed to.
Yeah, you could find a way through, or
just not in a vehicle. Yeah,
not in a vehicle for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they do a very good job of stopping a vehicle or like a horde of people or animals, but individuals could scale them or find way through. Or
okay.
Probably slightly harder actually with the wheelchair, but even so,
people could move that way too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I guess we're gonna camp down for the night then. I'll take the 4-poster.
Are we going to? Sorry.
Go on.
Are we going to put a person on guard, or perhaps try and jury rig some sort of a warning system if somebody comes through the door? Or I mean, they probably won't in this kind of weather, but you never know.
There's not many supplies. Have you got that kind of thing at hand?
Not really, unless I'm
back
just
at the back of the truck.
Yeah, I have my toolbox, but nothing much. I could put a few nails in the door or something, just try and make it a little more secure, but nothing. I guess that would.
We could move the dresser just in front of the door, and then if someone wants to break in, they have to break a window.
That's true.
Sure.
And for keeping watch, I wouldn't mind keeping an eye on the woods over there, just till it goes dark, see if any lights come on.
Sounds like you're up first then.
Yes, I wouldn't mind getting some rest. Okay, yeah.
Is there a chair?
There's a chair.
We'll find something.
I'll sit in the window. Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to sort of rotate through watches, or is Ira staying up all night?
I think Ira has found a rocking chair. And she's going to look like a crazy.
Got my rifle.
Yeah.
Every now and again, I go like that.
In my head, I thought he was just going to be in his wheelchair and it had like a rocking mode or something.
That's just where it plays heavy metal.
I will take a watch. Would we know how long this weather's roughly going to last, or are we just going to say till dawn? Yeah, I'm guessing this is probably late evening, so we've got about...
Probably want to do 3 hours each, don't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So, could I get you all, for your individual watches, to give me a perception plus vigilance? Your target number 7, and it's handicap 1, which means you need 2 successes.
Can I use my rifle scope for this? To give me a +1?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Actually, guys, I was going to say maybe it's best not to have the short-sighted guy on the watch. Who's wounded and has like -2 dice to every roll.
You can use the scope; it'll be fine. Just use the scope.
Stop trying to weasel out of doing something practical.
I'm tired, guys. I'm tired.
You said 7, right?
Yes.
Target number. Yeah, no successes.
I've got 1 success.
I have 1 reroll, which won't really help. No, I got 2.
Sorry, so it was perception, vigilance.
Perception, vigilance. Target number 7.
+1 for the scope?
Yeah, sure, yeah. As long as Ira doesn't mind you using it while he's asleep, which I guess.
I think whoever's going to be using it sitting in the chair, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you might as well roll another one then, Phil, as well.
-1 for the short-sighted?
Mm-hmm.
Or does the scope negate that? Yeah, I guess the scope and
the
scope.
Yeah.
And -1 for your wound.
Oh, yeah.
And -1 for my wound.
Yeah. -1 for your wound, Phil, if you haven't already.
So don't roll that extra dice.
And I need 2 successes.
Yep.
7.
7 successes.
Wow.
Yeah. I meant like I'm trying to get 7, am I?
You are, yeah.
Yeah, it's the target, yeah.
Holy moly. Well, it's paying back now, guys. I've got a 9, a 9, and an 8.
Ah!
So,
Well.
If only that applied to Ira's round.
Yeah.
I got
I'll
an 8.
stay up all night, guys.
Okay, so
this scope is amazing.
Ira doesn't see anything. And then
Shall I go second? Yeah, so we're letting 12 sleep for a bit. So then I can imagine by the time 12 comes around, the dawn is beginning to break a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. That sounds good. So yeah, maybe with a bit of improved light, even despite the short-sightedness. Also, the storm is beginning to ease off.
I rolled an 8, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, with 1 you don't spot anything, Phil.
Cool.
But 12, as you're looking out and the sun's beginning to rise, storm was easing off a bit. Still raining, but just kind of a moderate rain now. And you're looking out and you're paying attention to the north, as Ira suggested, and of course occasionally looking around in the other directions as well. You do spot what you think is movement, and so you sort of quickly, you sort of focus the scope on the area where you thought it was. and it's hard to tell. There's a house a little way down the street, so not directly opposite, but a bit further down, and you're sure you saw some movement behind a window. And you focus on it, and then, sure enough, it kind of happens again. Can't really make out any details, but an enormous figure. So probably like maybe standing kind of 6 foot tall, but also very sort of wide. It's either a very big man or say man, person, but potentially even like it's about the right size for like a bear or something. And, you know, with the difficulty kind of seeing, you can't make out any details at all, except just this shape, basically, this kind of shadow.
We set this game in the UK, right? Do we have bears in the apocalypse?
We did set it in the UK.
It was meant to be in France, right. But do France don't have bears
either, right? I don't know if France have bears. That's a good question.
I'm just put logic in.
We had zoos.
That's true. Yeah,
it's Bristol Zoo.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. Could be a panda.
Yeah, it could be a panda.
Koala.
Munching on some bamboo in someone's garden. Yeah.
I don't think pandas would survive the apocalypse.
Not enough. They're too selective, aren't they?
Yeah. So that's what you see.
Are the guys staring at this point, or?
Well, I think probably. I guess they're probably both asleep.
Okay.
So like we say, it's getting towards about time that people would be getting up soon anyway.
Yeah. Psst, psst. Hey guys. Guys.
Yeah. Well, what?
I think I see someone in one of the houses over here. I can't make it out, but tall and wide. Could be a person, could be a bear, or maybe even a panda. I'm not sure.
The panda better not know kung fu. Did you? Is it just moving back and forth? Could it be like a trick of the eye? I mean, I know your eyes aren't too good.
Maybe, but your scope, it really helps. I focused in. I keep seeing it's like something big is moving. I can see through the window, but I can't make out much. It's a figure, I'm sure.
Can you see anything around wide. The house where the window is? Is there anything is there a vehicle outside or?
No, there's nothing that would suggest that there would be anyone in there. But it could be somebody that's been caught in the storm, taken refuge we didn't know about.
And just that, sorry, is this the houses between the forest and the barricade? Did I miss that? Or was it back where we came from?
It's in that direction. Yeah.
Sorry.
But
and now you're looking at it again. You can't see it now, but you're quite certain that you saw something.
I'm looking right now, but I don't see it.
Are you certain that you saw something?
If it was like a curtain that was moving, blowing in the wind, I would still see it, but it's gone. Like somebody's walked a couple of times in front of the window and then they go sit down or they lay down or I don't know. It's not there anymore that I can see.
It's an old place. It could be haunted.
Oh, come on, guys. Don't be silly. I'm sure I see something. Believe me.
Well, I think we have two options here. We investigate or we run. And
this
then drive.
Big.
Well, why don't we go back to the mystery van, get our stuff, and go and see what this thing is?
Sure. But you can knock.
Send the guy in the wheelchair.
Okay, yeah, fine. I'll knock on the door. It's fine.
This is why we make you the leader.
I didn't want to be no leader. All right. Just because I've got the biggest gun, okay?
Yeah, you have.
Just before we do set off for the van and, things like that, can I just check how much we can take off of our pools for our rest.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that. So the way this works is, so you all recover somewhat from healing, from the sleeping rather. Now, if you're, so the default is that if it's a good night's rest, then you'd recover all of both pools. But because you've all stayed up a little bit to keep watch, you don't recover. So you recover 1 strain dice left, and because of the stress of the storm, you recover 1 nerve dice less. In addition, if you're injured, so if you have any wounds at all, then you also recover 1 strain dice less. So in other words, you go down to you recover them all except 1 nerve and 1 strain, or if you're injured, you recover them all except 1 nerve and 2 strain. Cool. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
How do we heal the wounds? Because I see there's a heal skill, but I don't have any dice in it.
Yes, unfortunately, none of you do. And it's also one of the specialist skills, which makes it virtually impossible, actually, for you to heal each other. There is natural healing, though, and that's also after a rest. So the way this works is, and I'm just reminding myself, okay. So you can spend pool dice now. You can only do this when you have a decent rest. So this is not an option otherwise. So now, and only now, until your next rest, you can spend pool dice from either pool, either or, and to recover a minor wound is going to take 3 dice.
Ooh.
And it would be 6 for a serious and 10 for a lethal.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's per wound. So if you've got multiple wounds, you have to do that multiple times.
I think we're going to have to hire a doctor.
So if I've got 2 wounds, 2 minor wounds, I need to mark off 6 of my nerve or strain pool.
Yeah, or any combination thereof.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's a bit expensive.
And because you haven't, so being injured is really bad because not only do you not recover all of your pool, you then have to spend what you've got left to heal. Yeah, so this is where you regret that one of you didn't play the doc character.
Never mind.
I think the first one of us to have our character die is going to find that changes.
Come back as doc. Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, so is everyone updated there?
Yep. Pretty straightforward.
Yep.
Yep.
So, what's the plan then? Go back to the van, is it? And I'll also add that although when you came into the village, you did have a little search around, but you really were looking for somewhere safe to shelter. You weren't really searching the village as such. So you haven't yet really searched the village, if that's something you want to do. Or obviously there's the footprints or the figure, or go back to the van.
Yeah, I would argue there's more pressing matters in searching the village if there's somebody else here. So I'd say go see what this figure is, just to see if it is a person, because it could be the footprints as well. Maybe it could also be what caused the footprints.
Okay.
Well, I personally don't need anything from the van. So if you guys need something from the van,
no,
I'm not sure what I'd get from it, to be honest. So perhaps we just
we should go straight there then.
Straight go for it. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So going back out into the village, it was pretty, sort of old and overgrown anyway. The storm has really if there was any broken glass left before, any unbroken glass left before, there's not now. And there's a lot more damage even than there was. But it's a remarkably kind of, the storm's cleared the air. It's quite a fresh kind of feel to the morning. The sun's beginning to rise. And remember that we're in early spring here, but the weather's quite extreme. So you anticipate probably quite a hot day, actually, again. And you move out towards the house that you identified, this figure, whatever it was. And it's very obvious that you immediately notice some tracks around that house, but also actually coming up a little bit in the direction of the house that you were sheltering in. Not right up to it, but in that direction. And then kind of, it looks like maybe someone sheltered and then moved back. And actually, let's get a perception plus either vigilance or track, your choice. Difficulty 7.
Each of us.
Each of you, yeah.
I got a 9 and
I got
7.
1 success.
Okay.
And I've got a reroll. Hold on. Nope, 1 success.
I got a 2, a 5, and a 10.
Okay, so that's 1 as well. So Mono does the best.
Yeah.
2 successes. So
The best.
even despite the fact that the rain has obviously washed away a lot of the tracks, you find it's quite clear to you that you find 2 different sets of prints, and just like the ones you saw before, one is a boot, looks like a sort of a rubber boot, and the other one's barefoot. Yeah. They seem to be heading off to the north.
Okay.
So they sort of move around a bit. It looks like the people moved around, as I say, headed in the direction of where you were holed up, and then went off to the north.
Sorry, just to check, do we still believe this figure is in the house, or do we think that they've come out of the house close to where we were and then they've headed north?
It looks like they've been tracking. Yeah.
Okay. So
let's follow those prints, right?
Maybe I'm just wondering whether we check and see if they've left anything which may help us know what we're dealing with in this house here, or maybe they may have booby trapped it as well.
Well, I don't see why they would have left anything if the whole village is empty. That doesn't make much sense. You could have a quick look if you want, though.
No, let's just head off, just in case they leave anything bad.
We can always come back. We can circle back once we know what's going on.
Okay. So spotting the tracks is one thing. Following them, slightly more difficult. So I'm going to need another roll, and this is going to be definitely perception plus track, difficulty 7, and handicap 2. So you need 3 successes.
I don't have anything in Beast. But I can help.
No, oh, you don't, do you? Don't have anything at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can help because it's not a specialized skill.
Oh, nor does Ira. Oh, none of you have anything in Beast.
But we're all doing the same thing, so we get a unified. What was it called? Unity.
Yeah, that's true.
So we all get bonus dice anyway.
Well remembered.
Yeah.
Yes, that's 1 dice. Yeah.
So that means I get 3 dice.
Your expertise in Slavonic languages, 12, probably won't come in. Mono also has Nordic languages.
Yeah.
I got no successes.
No.
Not for me.
2, 4, and a 6.
What am I rolling? Sorry.
Perception plus 1 dice,
perception
I believe.
Track. which you haven't got.
No. So.
What?
I've
Waffles
got an 8 and a
rolling.
7.
And you get an extra dice because of the party unity thing.
8, 7, and a 5.
Oh,
Almost. That gives you 2 of the 3. You could spend a pool dice if you wanted to, or you don't have to.
Let's spend 1 from the party. Seems fair.
okay.
Chris, you're tracking that, so...
Yep, go for it. Yep. Down to 4.
5.
No, 4.
So you're allowed to keep going. You can spend 1 of your strain dice or another party dice.
Sure,
Or
let's do that. I'll spend a strain. 3. Okay, 1 more. 8.
hey! There we go. Cool. So it takes a little while. You lose the tracks frequently, and then you have to sort of nose around. You eventually find them again, and you lose them again. But you slowly manage to make your way, following the tracks to the north. They sort of wind. You get the feeling that the people who make this track know the village, because they sort of, there's a few places where the road is kind of blocked, and they sort of detour around, and you just get the feeling that they knew where they were going. Gradually sort of winding, heading north to the edge of the village, and there's a little gap in the barricade that surrounds the village, and big enough actually for the wheelchair to get through as well, and the footprints go through there again as if they knew that was there. So you follow it through out of the village proper, and it's pretty clear actually that you're headed towards those isolated buildings that you saw from the house through the scope. And now in the light of day, now the sun's up and the rain has stopped, you can see that it's a little farm, quite small. There's like a farm cottage, like a kind of barn. It's a rusted tractor, hasn't been used for some time, and that's where the footprints head. And I think that is probably a good time to take a little few-minute break.
Cool.
Sound good?
So, yeah.
I'll polish my rifle.
Yeah,
That sounded wrong.
That did sound very, very... I think we're going to cut your rifle out.
As the bishop said to the actress. Following the footprints down towards what you now see as a farm. The road, not road really, but the path, the approach up to the farm is very overgrown. Big sort of stands of brambles everywhere. There's some rusted farm vehicles and cars and things, some bushes, and even some small trees. Bits of junk, which you always get on a farm, but even more so. You're following the footprints, and let's say you get to within, 100 meters of the farm buildings, and from here you can see that the footprints definitely just lead ahead to one of the, it looks like the cottage, basically, like the sort of living building. Are you just going to follow them in, or what's your approach? Are you going to try and sneak, or what's the angle?
You guys all got your weapons with you?
Sure thing.
Yes.
And
how about we do a little pincer maneuver?
mm-hmm.
I'll just go to the door.
Get back and get my drone, by the way, from the van.
We didn't go back to the van.
No, that's fine.
Would it have charged?
Yeah,
I took it back to the van to recharge, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all good. It's somewhere safe.
Okay. Well, if you guys are up for it, I think we should split up and just make sure we're aware of the situation before shit hits the fan.
Sure. Do you want to go in the middle? Because
yeah, I need to go through the front door. It seems wide enough, so I'll go that way.
Convenient ramp as well.
I know, right?
Listen, just a quick question. the tracks, they came to like near to where we were staying. So I feel like maybe they've noticed us arriving and they maybe know our numbers. There's 3 of us. I'm not sure if we split up, will they think this is an offensive maneuver? Will they think they're trying to flank us deliberately, they're hostile and start a fight before it's... They might be quite friendly. I'm not sure.
Well, that's what I'm hoping to establish.
Fair enough.
If they want to start a fight, I'm ready.
I mean, you know, if you prefer, I mean, Ira and I can split up, and maybe you can not.
Sure. Okay, so do we know if there's any ways in to the farmhouse on the left and right hand sides? Is it like a large barn we're sort of going to, sort of a...
Just a cottage, right?
Yeah, like a quite a big cottage.
Okay.
And there's some other buildings further back which are more like the working buildings, like the barn and bits and pieces.
But the tracks go to the cottage.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you'd be more comfortable, you can just follow me to the front door. I'm not going to force you to go around the side.
I don't mind. I just don't want you to get into trouble straight away. And we've got, the sides are all barricaded up, and, you're waiting for us to come help if they are hostile.
Then why not take some defensive positions then?
Yes.
So they can see all of us, but you've got some cover if you need it.
Are you particularly very well versed at talking to people, making friends if needs be, or?
I got a degree from Cambridge in conversational sciences.
Okay, so maybe you are the best person to go.
Fuck no! I just know how to talk. Okay. I'm the one with the gun. They're going to listen to me when I talk.
Fair play.
Of course, I know they don't even have any weapons. Yeah. They could just be surviving in there.
Sure. I will accompany you, Ira, because I don't have any ranged weapons. So me taking some cover position back there, I would, if it does come down to a fight, I would take a while to get there. So
makes sense. You probably wouldn't see them anyway, would you?
Exactly.
How about you knock on the door then?
Sure.
You're gonna knock and run. Okay, well,
is that meant to be a joke or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but it was at 12 though, not at Ira.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But okay, in that case, I'll take a defensive position because I've got a handgun, which is not great, but it's better than nothing.
So if you're about 100 meters out now, just looking, getting a bit kind of tactical about this, your handgun, if you look at the range, it's 30/90, which means close range is anything less than 30 meters. Medium range is 30 to 90, and long range is 90 plus.
I'm
so
certainly
you're probably
happy to get in closer.
Yeah, so you probably want to get definitely below 90, and then that puts you in medium range.
Sure.
Unless you want to get all the way to 30, which would put you obviously pretty close then.
Well, I want to be able to cover these two whilst they're getting to the door. So, I need to be near enough that I can kind of get in there if need be, but far enough back that they might not spot me unless they're looking.
Yeah. So within 30 meters is probably about right.
Yeah, and I don't have sneak, so that's not going to help. But
yeah, so I'm imagining then you all walk up together to about 30 meters, and then Mono finds somewhere.
I'm going to hide in shadows.
Yep. And then the other two move in. Okay, cool. So that's what happens. So you approach, you find Mono. You find there's, like I mentioned, there's all these rusted vehicles everywhere, and there's what looks like just a rusted estate car of some kind, no wheels on it, but perfect, just the right position for you to kind of crouch down behind. You've got a really clear view of the front door. Ira and Johnny move on. And you get to within about 10 meters of the front door when you hear, all of you, a loud roar coming from the side. And you quickly spin round, and this enormous guy leaps up from where he was hiding behind a load of brambles.
Classic.
It's clearly the guy you saw. That 12.
It looks like a curtain.
He's almost exactly. He's almost 7 foot tall. He's built like the proverbial brick shithouse, and he looks like completely wild. He's caked in mud and what looks slightly alarmingly like dried blood. He's wearing, the only thing he's wearing is a really dirty camo poncho. He's barefoot, and he's carrying a machete, and he leaps up and just gives this roar and charges towards you with this machete. As he does so, from the other side of the path, also behind this time behind one of the rusted cars, a much older guy, hard to say, maybe 50, maybe 60, maybe 70, hard to tell that kind of range, kind of pokes his head up and...
Hello there.
He kind of, yeah, gives a cheerful wave. And he kind of, he looks around and he kind of, then he ducks back down again.
Alan.
And so we are going into combat.
Hey.
So the way this works is the initiative sort of equivalent is the reaction roll. So you need to each roll reflexes plus vigilant, and your difficulty, because you're not entirely surprised, I'm going to say, because you were kind of wondering if this could be a dangerous situation. So difficulty is going to be 7 rather than it would be 9 if you were like properly surprised. So reflexes plus vigilance, difficulty 7.
Would we get a unity bonus here for our symbiote party thing?
No, because it's
an individual thing, isn't it?
Kind of, yeah.
I got 0.
Okay.
I rolled a single 8, and then everything else was lower.
Okay.
I got a 10 and a 9.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Okay. So that puts 12 at the top of the initiative, I think. And let's see what they've got. I'm so used to playing player-facing games. It feels really weird for me to roll dice as a GM. It's really bizarre.
You can opt not to, and we'll be fine.
Okay, cool. Okay. So that puts the initiative order at 12, then Mono, then the young crazy guy, then the old guy, then Ira. So the way combat works is you can take any number of actions on your round, but every one after the first one, you suffer a cumulative 2 dice penalty. So actually, you realistically can only take 1 or 2. You can only ever take 1 attack, so you can't multiple attack. But you're going to want to defend, because if you don't, you're going to take a lot of damage. So one of your actions probably needs to be a defense. So depending on the initiative order, if you get attacked, then you're probably going to want to use your first action to defend, which means then when it's your go and you attack, you get a -2 on your attack because it's your second action. See what I mean? So you can defend multiple times, but it gets obviously much more difficult after you've done one or two. The rolling is basically exactly the same. So for ranged attacks, you're rolling accuracy plus firearms. For melee, you're rolling vigor plus close combat. And your defense rolls are going to be either you can defend against a ranged attack if you can see it coming. So the idea is not that you're dodging a bullet or an arrow, but rather that you see the person aiming and dive behind something. So that's you can defend against that with reflexes plus vigilant, and in melee you can dodge using reflexes plus brawl, or you can parry using vigor plus brawl or close combat. But we'll do it as we come to it. But that's basically how it works. So it's just the same kind of mechanic, and wounds work in the same way that we did with the hail, and your armor takes effect. So yeah, let's just get into it and we'll see how it goes. So 12 is top of the round. So this guy is jumped up, charging at you with his machete. He's going to be on you in no time. I mean, this is obviously, they knew you were coming. This is clearly an ambush. He was waiting for you to get close, which you now are. So he's coming straight towards you. The old guy is a little bit further away, a good sort of 20, 30 meters away behind the car. So it's the big guy on top of you who's the imminent threat. What do you want to do?
Okay, so I'm going to make sure I'm in between the big guy and Ira. He's kind of charging at us, I gather.
Yep.
And I'll say to Ira and shout to Ira and Mono, get the old guy, take him hostage. Maybe they won't. He seems non-combative. Maybe this young crazy man, he will not want to attack if we have whoever this old guy is. Can I save my defense now until that guy attacks?
I mean,
if I attack him
yes,
now,
you can.
And then he attacks me, I'll have a -2, won't I? If I attack.
Yeah, but if you defend first, then your attack will have a -2.
Sorry, say it again.
So if you wait and then defend, and then attack, then your attack will have a -2. So right. I guess it depends which one you want to prioritize. Because whatever you do second has a -2.
Is that sort of like per turn? I mean, what I'm saying is if I attack now, and then he attacks me, I'll have a -2 on my defense. Is that right? Whereas if I just wait until he attacks me, I'll have no minuses on my defense. Yeah. And then I'm not sure whether I could sort of attack back, or if that makes sense. I'm not sure if I'm just holding my turn or if I'm just saying, actually, I'll just.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I don't think there's any specific rules for holding your action. So I'm just gonna make a ruling, I think. I don't see any reason why you can't hold your action, because it sort of makes sense that you would be able to wait until he gets to you and defend first. So effectively, you can do it either way around. You can wait till he gets to you, defend, and then choose to attack him, or you can leap in because you have got the initiative. So you could leap in and attack, get an attack in before. So yeah, I guess either way around depends which you want to prioritize.
I think I would defend Ira. So I'm gonna basically make sure I've got a good footing. He's charging on us. I'm just gonna wait until he's on me and perhaps has a swing at me, and then dodge, parry, something like that. On the hope that Mono and Ira will go for the old guy, and maybe we can solve this by hostage taking rather than just killing the young guy.
So let's say, we'll do that on when he gets to you then. So that'll be on his initiative. So you're kind of holding that for now. So you're just taking defensive possession, basically waiting for him to to reach you.
Weapon ready.
And so then seeing that, Johnny's, sorry, I keep saying Johnny, 12, is pulling out was it a sledgehammer, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah, I think I also have brass knuckles, but I think the sledgehammer's the... it's got a feature of heavy. What does that do?
I'm not sure, but it does more damage. So I think that's...
Yeah, I'm going to go with this.
That's the one to go for. I'll look up heavy another time. So seeing this happening, Mono, from your... Because you're just sat there waiting. So you see all this unfolding. You see 12 taking up this position with sledgehammer. You see the old guy pop up and then down again. What are you going to do? So you're within range, certainly, of the guy charging. Obviously, you can't really see the old guy at the moment. You know where he is, but you can't.
So I'm going to try and take out this charging guy's kneecaps.
Okay.
And then make my way towards the old guy.
Okay. So a ranged attack is accuracy plus firearms.
And we declared that firearms had some kind of special thing, didn't we? So
you don't get to roll any extra, but if you succeed, you automatically get an extra success.
Cool. Okay. So I also spent nerve dice to heal up earlier on. So that I think means I've got, let me see, accuracy is 3, 1 in firearms. I've got 2 dots in firearms.
It doesn't matter because you've got the skill. So 3 plus 1 is 4. Difficulty, so you're close range, which means the difficulty is only 5.
I've got 3 successes there, plus 1
plus 1
the crisp bonus, higher bonus.
Nice. So 4 successes.
So my intention is to take the knees out of this thing that's charging, so it basically face plants.
Okay. So the way damage works is your handgun does 3 damage. Plus, this is the same for every attack. You get 1 extra damage per success. You just got 4 successes. So 3 plus 4 is 7. Obviously, you probably could have done that maths yourself. And that counts as a serious wound.
To his face.
Conveniently stored by his kneecaps.
So yeah, it's a really good shot. You're close range. You see him coming. You shoot out at his leg. He doesn't faceplant though. He stumbles, and it sort of puts him off his stride a bit. But to be honest, he's got this. If we were playing a fantasy game, I'd say he was a berserker, but we're not, so I won't. but it gives you the idea. He's just got this kind of rage. He just seems like wild. It's very sort of animalistic, and he just, he clearly feels the shot, but it barely stops him coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's then his round, his go. So yeah, he kind of stumbles a bit, but pulls himself up, carries on charging, raises the machete, heads straight for 12, and slashes down with the machete. So I'm going to roll for him. I assume you want to defend.
Yes, please.
Okay. So a melee defense, you can either do reflexes plus brawl to dodge, or if you prefer, you can do vigor plus close combat to parry. Whichever sort of works better for you.
And is it the case that his dice pool is affected by his wounds? Like
it is.
They would be for us?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's quite nice. I quite like that system.
Yeah, I think it's quite good.
Is it like an opposed dice roll thing?
It is, exactly. So I've just rolled for him, and I've got... I'm afraid I've got 4 successes. I rolled 2 10s.
Wow.
So you have to beat 4 successes.
I have to beat it.
You have to...
I need 5 successes.
No, sorry, you have to equal it.
Equal it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm just trying to give myself a bit of... Okay, so I'm going to take one from my nerve pool.
Okay.
So I've got 4 dice plus my nerve. Let's see how we go with that. I do get a reroll. Actually. Yeah, so I've got an 8, a 7, a 10, a 7, and a 5. And I think...
I didn't tell you what the target was, but actually it was only 5.
Oh, wow. Oh, I was shooting for 7s, yeah.
That means you've
bear with me. Because I think I can... I don't know if it gives me a benefit if I actually beat him or not. I've got a reroll on close combat. So if I I've got that and check what it was.
Was this was a parry?
Oh, no, that was a 4. The fallen dice. That was a parry.
How many successes did you get?
I've got an 8, a 7, a 0, a 10, and a 7.
Okay, 4. Okay, so it doesn't.
Do I get a benefit if I beat him? Like I can?
No, well, only if you beat him by 2. So you would need 6 in that case. But that's great. So I think what happens is he swings down the machete, and you bring up the sledgehammer as a kind of a block basically, and kind of knock his arm aside, and the machete just shoots down beside you, completely missing you, and also sort of slightly kind of off balances him. It's very cool.
Can I attack him back now? It's a -2, is it to my?
Yes, because you haven't had your attack. Yeah, so you can at -2. Yeah. So it's vigor plus close combat -2, and he's going to obviously defend.
That's close combat
at -2.
So -2 dice. Is that
-2? Yeah. So he's also at -2, of course, because he's already attacked you. So please defend.
I got 2 9s.
Okay. Do you know what though? He got a 9 and a 10.
Knowing that, am I allowed to use a strain point to try and one up him, or could he then use a strain point to then one up me? Or
ooh, that's a good question. I think it's probably more fun if you
don't know.
Yeah, in future, yeah, let's say that I won't tell you what the roll is until you've decided whether this has been more or not.
I'm with you. Yeah. Okay, let's leave it as it is then. So
yeah,
we've sort of got into a deadlock.
Kind of clash of the Titans kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. The old guy, I guess probably 12 wouldn't be too aware of this. But the old guy again kind of pokes his head up, and then he quickly ducks back down again. And then finally, Ira. You got this battle right in front of you.
So I guess they're pretty close to Ira now, aren't they? So it's movement free.
Yeah, obviously for a certain distance.
Yeah, I'll just put it into reverse, and I'll just back away from this like mini fight that's going on.
Beep, beep, beep,
and
beep.
Is there an aim? What's the word?
Mechanic.
Mechanic, yeah.
There's an optional mechanic about aiming.
Okay, we don't have to use it. It's okay.
Yeah, I wasn't going to use, but I can look at it if you want.
Then how about we just say I hold my action, and I'll raise my pistol, knowing where this old guy's head is coming up from.
Okay.
And I'm gonna focus on that instead of this fight over here. And next time he pops his head up, I'm gonna let off a shot and try and hit him.
Nice. Okay. Cool. You said pistol. Have you got a pistol and a?
I do have a pistol and a precision rifle because the rifle can't use within 300. It's between when you mentioned ranges, I started to notice it goes up to 1.5 kilometers.
Bloody hell!
Yeah. So I don't know if your ranges are in meters or feet.
Maybe
so
they're
between
feet.
300 and 1500 for the rifle. So I'm going
1500 meters is ridiculously long.
Yeah.
Way. Must be feet, mustn't it?
But the handgun's 30 to 90, so I'll use the handgun instead.
It's good to have both. That's quite cool.
I
mean, that is your speciality, though, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So you back up. You get ready. You've seen him. You know where he is.
Yeah.
So you're kind of waiting.
Assuming he's coming up in the same place, I'm going to hold it.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. Okay. Cool. So back to the top of the round. 12 again. First, if you want to. Now that Ira's kind of moved back a bit.
How's this guy looking? He said he's got like a serious injury, which is probably taken off of his rolls and stuff. But
he has.
Does he look like he's? Do I think he's like close to death or?
No, he's huge and
berserking.
Yeah. He's definitely not anywhere close to stopping his attack.
I think I'm going to hold my attack again. Basically, wait for him to attack me, and then maybe attack him back.
Okay, fine. In that case, Mono
is going to dodge another shot.
Okay, fine. So same as last time, accuracy plus firearms, difficulty 5 because you're quite close.
Are they still walking? Kind of lumbering along.
Yeah.
So I'm aiming in the same place then.
Okay.
So I rolled a 10, a 7, a 6, and a 5.
It's difficulty 5, so that's 4 successes.
It's the best rolling I've done in a while.
So there's no particular rules about firing into melee, so I'm not going to apply any. We're just going to call it a normal shot. And I think it makes sense if you can only dodge if you're paying attention to the person shooting you. And he's fighting 12, so he's not going to be watching Mono to see if he can dodge. So I'm just going to say he can't dodge because he's in the middle of a fight.
Go on then.
So he gets no roll. So that means you do the full damage for your gun, which is 3.
3, yeah.
3 plus 4 for the successes is 7, which I think is exactly what you got last time.
Yeah.
So that's another serious wound. I forgot about his armor, but actually it doesn't make any difference. It's still a serious wound. Yeah, okay. So somehow you make the perfect shot, even though he's kind of tussling with 12. It again, same as before. It hits him. It clearly injures him, and 12. You're very aware of the shot, kind of, and maybe gets him in the other leg, let's say. But he's still standing, and he's still fighting.
Better than he ever did.
And it's his go. He is going to swing at 12, of course. Let's take out some dice for that. Okay. I take it you're defending?
It's vigor and close combat for a parry, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, the dice were hating me before, but they're loving me now. I've got 3 8s and a 9.
Okay. Oh, do you know what? He only got 2, which means not only have you succeeded, you've got 2 more than him, which means you can make a free counterattack.
Lovely. Is that with the -2 dice penalty or?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's still vigor and close combat to swing at him, isn't it?
Yes. He is going to try and dodge, but he hasn't got much chance.
Oh. I've just suddenly remembered. Hang on, sorry. I have abilities, which I haven't taken into account.
Yes, we have some combat abilities. Don't we?
Oh, yeah, we've got those as well. I forgot about that.
I get +1 die attack and +1 damage if another party member is threatened.
Oh, which they definitely are.
Yeah, so if I throw another dice in, I think that's it though, isn't it? So I'd have 3 vigor, 1 close combat, minus the 2, plus the 1. So I should have 3 dice for this.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. Not so good. I've got 4, 4, and 10.
Oh, okay. 1 success.
Oh, do I need to say if I'm going to add more if he's...
yes, right. Yes, I'm not going to say. Yeah, so that's 1 success.
Yeah, okay.
So it's a hit, but depends whether you want to up it.
Yeah, you know what? Let's...
Oh, but you said you get a free success.
Oh, actually, sorry, I've got...
Because of your
just a quick...
ability. So that actually counts as 2. Is that right?
Sorry, say that again.
You said because of your ability, you get an extra dice and an extra success.
No, sorry, I've got +1.
Sorry.
This is +1 D attack, so extra dice.
Yeah.
Which I think I've counted in.
Yeah.
And +1 damage. So I guess whatever if I do succeed.
Damage. Sorry. Yeah.
Can,
yeah.
So just a quick ruling on this one as well. So I've had 3 dice for vigor. I get an extra dice for close combat, but I also get a reroll. So can I reroll one of my 4s?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Is that allowed? Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. That's exactly what it's for. Yeah.
Oh, that's a 9. Okay, so I've got 2 successes.
Cool.
I'll throw 1 strain in as well, I think.
Okay.
Really want to bring this one down on him if I can. Oh, that's a 10.
Oh, worth it. Nice.
3 successes.
So 3 successes. He only got 1 for his defense. So you do how much damage? So you do vigor +2, and your vigor's 3, so that's 5. Plus you got 3 successes in total. Was it?
Yes.
No, 4.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
3?
No,
okay.
No, it's 3. It was 2 more.
+1 damage.
Oh, yes, that would be 8.
Damage.
Plus the 1 is 9. He has got 1 armor. So
brings one to the... It's not a lethal one.
It's not quite
it's a serious.
It's a serious just.
But he must be full on that now, though.
Well, you don't know how many circles he's got.
There's different
Assuming it matches ours, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've actually only got 2. I've got one of my 3 filled in, so...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But that is a mighty swing of the sledgehammer. Crunches into his arm, and he sort of winces and looks at you. Just kind of lets out this massive roar. He's still in the game, but he is now looking pretty. There was all this caked mud and blood on him anyway, but now there's also quite a lot of fresh blood. He's not looking in a good way at all.
You actually just cut yourself off mid-sentence and said he's now looking pretty. I just wanted to tell you that.
Yeah, he is. He's looking really nice. The older guy, at this point, pokes his head up again above the car, which obviously Ira spots straight away. But he pokes his head up from the car, and you now realise what he was doing because he draws a bow.
Oh.
And aims it over in your direction. But you were specifically waiting for this moment, so you are absolutely going to get the jump on him.
Yeah.
So we'll let you go first. So it's accuracy plus firearms.
So that'd be 4 dice.
You also have no, that's interesting. Your speciality, I thought it was all weapons, but it's actually precision rifle.
Just a precision rifle.
So that actually doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, but I always use ammunition, so I don't know what that means.
Ammunition. Yeah, that's a weird one, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not sure what that means either.
But I am going to spend 2 points of my nerve.
Okay, cool.
So I'm actually rolling 6 dice.
Nice, and you get a reroll as well.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay, let's see what we got. So let's re-roll the 2. Okay. So I got. What's the target number?
You're at close range, so it's only 5.
5. That's 5 successes then.
Woo-hoo! Okay, I mean,
Did
he's
that
going to
one.
try and dodge, but there's hardly any point. Yeah, no, that's fine. Okay, so you absolutely hit him. So you do 3 damage plus your 4 successes.
5 successes.
5 successes, sorry. So it's 8.
8.
And that is going to be a serious wound on him. Now, compared with the young guy, he's obviously a fair bit older. He's a lot thinner. He's got this, I didn't really describe him today. He's got this long, dark, unkempt grey hair. He seems to be wearing kind of overalls or something. Yeah, it's a perfect shot. This is your area of expertise. You were waiting for him. As soon as he pokes his head up, you take a shot. You know, it's not an instant kill, but it gets him in the shoulder, and he kind of winces and sort of momentarily ducks back down. And then he takes he leaps back up and takes just a kind of chance shot, basically, with his bow, because obviously he knows you're there. So he just literally kind of leaps back up again and quickly releases a shot and then ducks back down again. So this is his second action. So we take a couple of dice away. Okay. So the arrow comes, but you know you're focused on him. You see it coming. So that he takes his shot. You can try and dodge, but obviously you're in the wheelchair, so it's a case of
-1 straight away.
Doing exactly.
Yeah.
Plus it's your second action, so
vigor plus
that.
Brawl for dodge. Right?
Dodge is reflexes plus brawl. No, sorry, for ranged it's reflexes plus vigilant.
Oh, okay. So that would give me 3 dice. So that'd be down to 2 dice. We'd be down to 0 dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, there's no way around that unless you want to spend pool dice. No. Okay.
Not this time. No.
Not this time. Okay. So in that case, his bow does 4. He got 2 successes, so it does 6. But you've got 4 armor.
Yep. So
takes down to 2, so that's a minor wound.
Yep.
So that's a 1 dice penalty now. It's harsh, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's him. So you've had your go then for this round. So that takes us back up to the top. So 12.
Let's finish this guy off, shall we? Yeah.
Oh, technically, was that my shot from before? My last round.
Oh, good shout. You held it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Can you hold it between rounds?
Because it technically is my turn now after his turn.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Does that sound
Well,
right?
I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'll. It's possibly a slightly moot point. I'll let you have a go, but he's stuck back down behind the
That's
car.
okay. No, that's cool.
So you can't shoot him, but you can do something else.
Yeah, I just wanted to drive my wheelchair over to him.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I can spend my turn driving the wheelchair over to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is this kind of as fast as possible to try and get to him, or is it just to get closer to him?
Just to get to him. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Okay. Yep. Fine. 12.
Yes. So in my head, this guy's still perhaps reeling a bit, the big young guy, the berserker. perhaps possibly clutched his arm, taken a knee or something, taking a while to recover. So I'm just going to come in with a big baseball bat to the face kind of try.
Right. Okay.
So it's the vigor and close combat. And I get 1 for my attack, is it? Because I'm defending Ira?
Yeah,
or
sure.
would I not get that as Ira's moved off?
No, I think so. He's still in danger, so...
Yeah.
I just remembered something. We used firepower, so that's 1 extra damage against him. Our group thing gave me 1 automatic success when I succeeded.
Oh, yes, it does, doesn't
It would
it?
have been 6. Just in case that made a difference.
It didn't, actually.
No.
No, well remembered, but yeah, no, it didn't. Yeah, good.
I totally forgot that as well.
Yeah.
So I had 1 extra damage against the Gribbly in that last round.
Younger.
Yeah.
The big one. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just checking I've got this right. 3 dice for vigor, 1 dice for close combat, 1 dice for protecting. I've got a reroll. Okay. I'm going to reroll 1 of those 2s.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that turned that into a 5. So I've got a 5. Is it a difficulty of 5 or more?
5, yeah.
I've got 2 5s and a 10, and the others were 2s. So
Okay.
3
So
successes.
that's 3. Are you going to stick with 3 before I tell you what his
Um,
defense was? Bear in mind he is injured, so he's rolling less dice.
I was
for
about
his
to say,
defense
I feel like he's got
already,
like a decent dice pool, but I think he must be maybe even have a lethal, so he's rolling at least 2 dice less. Is his successes got to be 5s as well? I guess so.
Yeah. They
It's an
match,
opposed
yeah.
one. You know what? I will add just 1 strain, just for the hell of it, because I think my adrenaline thing will help me to heal some strain at the end of combat. So, and that's a 5, so another success.
Worth it. Okay. So that gives you how many, sorry?
2 5s, 4 successes.
Nice. He only got 2 on his defense, so that's a good hit. So that's how much damage? Vigor plus
so
2,
3, so 5,
so 5,
plus 1 for the damage on my ability.
6, plus 1 for each success.
Which is 4.
Yeah, 10.
Wow.
Even with his armor, then that's a lethal. But he's got more than 1 circle in lethal.
Oh wow!
So
Android is this?
he's still just about standing. So you smack him. I think maybe you're going for his head, like you say, and he just manages to sort of shift his head. So you just get him like on the collarbone, and it's this kind of horrible crunch, and he sort of falls to 1 knee, and probably Ira sees. He lets out this mighty kind of scream, and Ira sees the old guy quickly poke his head up, and you hear him, the old guy, shouting out, "Hibney!" And he ducks back down again.
Mono's just determined that that he wants to just incapacitate this guy. Not trying to kill him, just trying to stop him from continuing this fight. It's very unreasonable. So having not had much success kneecapping him, he's going to shoot him in the groin.
Okay.
So that's 3 successes. Oh, sorry, 4 successes, because 5's a hit, right?
Yes. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, close range, yeah.
So that's 7 points.
Nice. So that would be... Yeah, that does it. So it would be serious, but he's got none left. So that bumps it up to lethal.
That crotch shot.
Pleased to hear he didn't have more than 2. He did only have 2 circles.
I just ruined his will to live, that's all.
So it's a great shot. Do you want to describe what the scene looks like as you take him down?
There's like this sudden moment of realization as this shot fires, and both of his hands go to his crotch. And for a split second, you can just see this kind of recognition and worry and concern as he drops to his knees, cries out because both his knees really hurt. And then the motherfucker face plants.
Fair. Okay. Very fair.
Well, and the dust kicks up around him as he does, you know.
Of course. Very
in kind of Looney Tunes way.
Yeah. He's bleed. There's blood like everywhere. This pool of blood kind of forms around him. I know you said you didn't necessarily want to kill him, but you have done.
Yeah. Not against killing him. It's just
multiple bullets and sledgehammer hits will do that, even to a huge guy like him.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So that would have been his go. Cross him off the list. Here, sorry, that's the old guy. He pokes his head up again, instantly takes in the scene, sees what's happened. Ira is obviously closest now because you've got, you know, within quite a close distance to him. So he lets out this kind of scream when he sees the young guy face down and in a pool of blood. Ira's closest, so he's just going to take a shot at you. Okay. So I guess you want to defend, or maybe you don't.
Can I? That's the question. Can I?
Yeah, you can still. You can still.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it's the penalties, isn't it?
Yeah, because this would be my first action.
Oh yeah.
This round.
Oh yeah, it would, wouldn't it? So yeah, you can actually. Yeah.
So, but defense against this one would be.
So it's
the maths.
It's accuracy plus. No, it's not. It's reflexes plus vigilance.
Vigilance would be 3. Go on, I'll defend.
And should be you get a minus, or no, you need 2 successes because of the.
But I minus 1 dice because I'm wounded.
Ah, yes.
What if you have your wheelchair at 90 degrees to the direction of baddie, and then you can just like go forwards or backwards, and you'll go left or right?
I'm going to take one out of the party pool because I don't have to ask permission. Screw you guys. I literally don't. No. It's in my character sheet.
You said you didn't want to be the leader.
Leader gets perks. So that negates the -1.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Which is not great, but I get a reroll. 2 successes, a 9 and an 8.
2's all we needed. He only got 2.
Nice. Woo. How do I defend that?
I think because you know it's coming, it's just a case of you just manage to sort of go. So you can't move.
It's in the back of my wheelchair.
The wheelchair, but you can sort of move around in it. So yeah, I think that's what happens. And it's your go. Brilliant. So you're already really close. So you can get to him this round if you want to.
Yeah, if I can keep that momentum going. One of the arrows that hit me, I presume is still in me because it's an arrow. So I'm going to grab it. I'm going to grab the one from behind in the chair. So I've got 2 arrows in both my hands. And I'm going to use the momentum of the wheelchair to just hit him and try to fall on him with the arrows. It's kind of like a threatening weapon thing.
Okay.
Not that I can do anything with it because I'm not very strong, but I can at least like threaten him with them.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and make him stop and just put my weight on him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. I think I'm happy just to say that happens. Okay. You're definitely close enough to get to him. And he looks, as you sort of round on him, he looks quite sort of shocked, maybe that the young guy was killed. And so, yeah, you kind of barrel into him with the wheelchair, which knocks him flying and sends the bow scattering out of his hand. And he sort of, as you sort of come to threaten him, he kind of cowers and he starts babbling. and you can't really understand what he's saying. You recognize some Spanish in there, but then there's also maybe some other language. It sounds like a mixture of languages, and even aside from the fact that you don't understand it, like basically he looks totally mad. And now you can see him up close. He's very, like, it doesn't look like he's washed kind of ever, and he's very sort of unkempt, and he's not like, he just is looking and acting very odd, and he's kind of babbling away. Let's see, actually, if anyone can understand him, it's probably you. Let's get a knowledge plus civilization.
Okay. So
it's only difficulty. It's only difficulty 5, so you've got a pretty good chance.
5, 10, and 9.
Okay.
3 successes.
So he, and I think actually also, so Mono and 12 were not all that far away. So I guess you two are running over as well, presumably. Yeah. So you kind of, you turn up at about now, and yeah, he's kind of babbling away, and you recognize some of the words actually are Arabic, some are Spanish, some you don't understand. You can't really get an idea of what he's saying, but he's repeating one word over and over again, which is here. And he keeps sort of, as he says it, he looks over to the big barn that's out behind the cottage, and he keeps looking over there with these sort of wide eyes, and he looks, as he does it, he looks really scared. He's kind of looking over at the barn, and you make out this word here is the word she in Arabic. And then there's another word which means either creature or thing. And then there's a third word which could mean either giant or beautiful. And that's all you can make out. Aside from that, it's just a string of kind of, he's just sort of cowering and like just speaking this, what seems to be nonsense, and looking over at this barn.
Guys, I think this was a mistake. He stinks. So you get me off him. I can't understand a word he's saying. It's making no sense.
Just to check, he's lost his bow. We've taken charge of his bow. He's not a danger anymore. So I'd help Ira back to his wheelchair, whilst perhaps just I'm gathering this guy's on the floor, so I'll keep my boot on him just to keep him down on the ground so he doesn't try and run off or try anything funny.
Okay.
Do you know what he's saying?
Sorry,
I was just role playing.
Far be it for me to interrupt you.
That's not what we're here for, damn it.
Yeah, come on. I was just going to say, now you're up close. He does look like he's pretty frail. It's not a problem at all for you to restrain him. Yeah. And also, he doesn't seem now. I think he kind of realizes he's beaten, and like I say, he just looks a bit like he's not really with it. So it's very easy just to stop him from being any trouble.
Can I grab his bow? Presume it's within reach, and whatever arrows he had.
Yeah.
I'll stick those on the back of my wheelchair for now.
Cool.
What do you think about this barn? Drag him over to the barn. Come on.
Yeah, let's do that. I agree.
What's he saying? I don't understand.
He's saying you're pretty. There's a girl in the barn. That's about as much as I got. It's babble.
Let's go then. Yes. Yeah, I might have taken. I'm gathering that the young berserker didn't have anything on him apart from his machete.
I mean, literally, he was wearing a poncho and he was carrying a machete. That's literally it.
Yeah, I think I'd have probably grabbed the machete and popped it on the back of Ira's thing as well. Just sort of like
I was wondering where his armor was coming from.
That dirt encrusted poncho.
It's got a trick there. We all need dirty poncho.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll wheel over to the barn. Presuming there's a big barn door I can try and open, maybe.
Yeah. So before we get there, we're going to have the final bit of mechanic of this game that we haven't yet done. I quite like this. It's quite cool. This is the voting phase.
And it's not the barn opening mechanic.
Yes, exactly. This happens at key points in every scenario in this game. And it's your chance. It's very gamey, but I quite like it. It's your chance as players to influence what happens in the story. So what happens is we have a secret vote. So I suggest we do it. What's going to be easiest? Can you do personal messages? Yeah. I don't think you can. Should we do it on WhatsApp?
But what we can do? Let's do this for the audience. So what I'll do is I can see you guys, but I'm going to take my headphones out, and I suggest whoever is not also taking part will do the same, and then the people who are remaining on the screen, you can give the signal, and then we'll come back in.
Okay. So I'll obviously keep mine on. So what I'll do is when we've heard from someone, I'll give a thumbs up, and that's the sign to put on your speakers again.
Yeah, exactly. So,
that sounds good. Okay. So before you do that, though, I'll tell you the possibilities. So there are three pots. So the question is, what's in the barn? And this is obviously this is the sort of culmination of this story, and should explain what's been going on in the village. So your possibilities are someone, something, or nothing. So someone means just obviously someone else, a person, maybe several people. Could be maybe some kind of relation to this old guy, a mother, a partner, or someone they wanted to protect or hide or something like that. So someone could be something, maybe a creature, maybe an animal, maybe a colony, something that would explain the silence in the village, maybe something that shared its territory with these two men in exchange for food or service or something like that. So that's something. Or nothing. Maybe it's just that the old guy is a demented old geezer, and the young guy is a nasty predator who just has kept anyone away from the village. So those are your options. So the idea is you vote in secret, and then I go with whatever the majority is, because there's three of you in three options. If it's a draw, I choose. And they're left open enough that you don't know exactly what you're gonna find. And of course, you don't know which one has won the vote. So until you find it, you don't know what you're going to find. So your options are just someone, something, or nothing.
So I think it'd be really interesting to. I'll remove two people, and then Neil and that remaining player have a say what it is you're voting for, or maybe like a sentence about why.
Yeah.
And then you can give the signal. And then we'll swap people out. How's that sound?
Cool. Why don't you go first then, Phil?
Pardon?
So if
Should I stay on first?
Yeah, you stay on first. Yeah. So Johnny and Chris go. Yeah.
Okay. So I think the obvious one would, I think, be someone, because of the way that he was gesturing. Nothing is quite appealing because it's quite amusing to know that there's all this tension and you open the doors and there's absolutely nothing in there. But I'm inclined towards something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that will be that has enough sort of air of mystery given what he was saying.
Yeah.
Or what little we could piece together from what he was saying.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
I will bring who would you like? Pick a person.
I don't know. Just because of the order they were on my screen, let's go for Chris.
Okay. Bring Ira back in.
It's me.
Yeah, it's you. So Johnny, turn off if you're listening, and Phil. So Chris, what are you voting for?
Yeah, I think I'm going to vote for nothing.
Okay.
So I don't think it makes any sense for a monster to be here and no sign of it. And it leaves some mystery to see, what was that guy talking about? Was it real? Is it real and it's just gone and it's hidden? Has it got out? So I like that. I like that idea of like keeping that mystery.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna vote nothing.
All right. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay.
Hey, this is working quite well.
It's good. What being able to be backstage and watch you guys talking, you do sort of think, what if they're talking about us? Like, oh, that John. Why have we invited him? He's such a terrible role player. And you're going, I don't know, Phil.
Are you all bad as each other?
Right. I think it's a person. I think maybe there's some weird thing that's happened with the whole catalyst and everything, the apocalypse. I think there's perhaps a female there that this guy's crazy and bred with or something, and they've had this weird sort of love child or something like that. Something weird's happening. But I don't think perhaps it's terribly sort of supernatural. He's said, even though I've not understood, only Ira did, that it's a girl, beautiful, giant. To me, that makes sense that perhaps this is her offspring or, a sister or something. And he looks genuinely fearful. So he's wondering perhaps, well, we've killed what might be his son, I guess. So maybe he's worried we're going to go and kill his wife too or something. I don't know. But something's not right. But I think there is something in there.
Okay. So you're going for someone.
Mm.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
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 Are we allowed to say what we all did then? Oh, by the way,
no.
I'd really be interested to find out what everyone else in chat would have chosen and why.
Good call out. Yeah. So let us know what your preferred option would be and why.
It's a very good shout.
And and if you want to talk about our decisions even further, come and talk to us on Discord. Or come and join us at Orbtoberfest, which is our mini convention, which we're doing in October the 14th in Nottingham, in the function room of an amazing craft ale pub. Very, very strictly limited in terms of tickets. I think we've got 5 left. So, come and have some fun with us and play role-playing games. And if you're someone that likes to have a drink, some of us will have a drink, some of us won't. So it's going to be fun. Yeah. The information of that is all on Discord and social media pages like Facebook and all that sort of stuff. So I'm sure you can find us.
I really hope you managed to edit this in time now because it's getting closer and closer.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, this is true.
It's really good. That was a good shout, Johnny. And it would be really good if we were live. It'd be really interesting to see what people were saying.
Yeah, we could even have given the vote to them.
Oh, yeah, we could have done
as well.
Yeah,
we could have done, but we didn't.
Yeah. No, so okay.
Sorry, everyone.
So,
I'm going to leave that in.
So you reach the barn. So you're taking him along, right?
Yeah, I think we're escorting him because he's the one that's kind of driving it. I think he needs to.
Yeah.
I think I'd almost be pushing him ahead.
Right? Yeah,
okay. Pushing him ahead. I think. Yeah.
He's sort of. He's not strongly resisting. He's clearly reluctant. He's sort of dragging his feet and sort of pulling back a bit, but maybe because he knows particularly if it's 12, kind of dragging him along, he doesn't really stand much chance of resisting. So he's clearly not happy about it, and he's kind of muttering this gibberish nonsense. And you hear this word here again, she. She's dragging him to the barn, and the doors are closed, but obviously not locked or anything. It's just a barn. You kind of pull open the door, and with him right there, and you're immediately hit by a smell. First of all, in fact, probably even as you're approaching the barn, you begin to get a bit of a waft of it. Probably since the collapse. Good smell. Yeah, it's really nice. Since the collapse of society, you probably will all be familiar with the smell of rotting meat. And that's definitely what hits you. And as you open the barn door, You hear the buzzing of flies, and a few flies kind of coming, just like swat them away. And you cautiously head in, and you immediately see a number straight away, 4, 5, maybe half a dozen of these enormous larvae, like grub, like kind of things, like squelching around on the ground, and they're sort of sticky, like trails, like slug-like kind of trails that they leave. And the rotting meat smell is from a small number, but a few partially or very decayed and, by the looks of things, eaten dead bodies. So there's a number of dead people, which it looks like these larvae have been feasting on, basically. And he, as you sort of push him in, so the larvae, by the way, they don't sit, they don't like come for you or anything. They just sort of ignore you. They don't seem to be a threat. And he sort of he like doesn't want to look. He sort of turns his head away, and he's the muttering kind of goes up a pitch, and he tries to sort of pull away and go back out the door.
I quickly look around. Is there any evidence of like canisters of petrol, of gasoline anywhere? It's the first thing I think of.
Not in the barn, but you did see some like on the way in.
I dash for it.
Okay. I can see where this is going.
You can put that in the van. You want to be able to get out of here. You want to drive.
You can't talk to me. I've already left. I've just gone for it.
But I can talk a bit louder.
Yeah, so you're kind of trying to be mom and kind of telling me, all that sort of kind of don't be ridiculous. That's really impractical. But yeah, if no one stops me, I'm gonna go straight for those cans of gasoline, and I'll come straight back in. And next thing you know, I'm emptying this all over the larvae, and all over the floor of the barn. And
it's probably diesel anyway. If the van won't take it.
Shut up. Yeah, it's true. Do you not think that a van would be diesel?
Not this one. No, not this one. I see you put the green one in.
Oh yeah, it's the wrong color.
Yeah.
So and then if no one stops me, I'll pull out a flint and steel, and I'll just light it.
Okay.
I'm gonna wheel backwards.
What? Yeah. What about the old guy?
Don't give a shit.
Are you like just letting him go, or like pushing him in?
I don't care about him. So for anyone who wants to know, basically my character has got a phobia of infection. So the moment I see this, I've lost 1D from my nerve, and the moment I see this, all I can think about is basically cleansing the area. I think it's actually technically it's phobia from... No, it's infections. But when facing a creature, event, or situation that could contaminate him, Mono loses 1D from his nerve pool. So I'm reacting to that and basically trying to cleanse the area as best I can. I also like setting things on fire.
I'm going to turn around and start wheeling away.
Okay.
I'm not getting involved.
So 12, you're the one who had the old guy there. So Mono rushes off. He's doing his thing with the, obviously you're not stupid. You can see where this is going as he's coming back with the.
It's not the first time I've done this.
Ira's wheeling away. You've got the old guy there, sort of a bit in the middle. What are you going to do?
Would we recognize infection? I mean, would we think this guy is infectious? Has he got any contagion or anything like that? Would we be able to tell that just by?
You'd be able to tell if it was sort of developed, like well developed, which it doesn't seem to be. He's certainly dirty, unkempt, unwashed, but no signs of any infection or anything that you can tell.
Okay. And it's just these grubs in here. There's nothing else, nothing that's birthed these grubs or...
Not that you can see.
I'm not sure whether 12... Sorry, I'm just going to very quickly...
Does 12 have a conscience?
I'm basically sort of tossing up to the, would she see any reason to kill him? But then also 12 is very protective of her family. So if
always protect your
Mono
family.
feels,
Never let anyone hurt the group.
If Mono feels that there's a chance of infection, is she going to say, well, I'm on that side and fine, that's it? I think I've got to perhaps be true. Perhaps I'll look over at Mono and sort of like raise the eyebrows and say, and cock my head towards the old guy and just see what they think. Just to.
And sorry for the background noise. Just trying to check a couple of things on my character sheet. I think you pretty much see me look up and just go, yeah, burn him. But deep down, I think that 12 would know that Mono has a really kind of polarized view of society, and it's really hard to tell whether or not he's really saying burn them, they could be infected, or if it's just screw them, everyone should just burn. Because actually, deep down, family aside, Mono thinks that everyone else is part of the scourge.
I think 12 would see this and be like, what do you think? What do you think, Aira? Will we leave the old man here or just let him go?
Just drop him. He's not going to do any harm now. It's not our problem.
He's obviously a danger to people. He's hurting people. I guess he's feeding these grubs.
What people? There's nobody here.
The half-eaten corpses. The half-eaten corpses. Somebody's been bringing them here for these grubs to eat. I'm guessing it's this man and this young crazy guy who just killed.
We've taken away his weapon. I'm going to check the house now. There'll be nothing left for them to endanger these people next time.
He is quite frail. Perhaps without his young compatriot, maybe
he's crazy. He'll die within a week. There's no food here.
He's crazy. He'll die in a week. Maybe we could just end his suffering.
True. I think my voice. I think at this point, perhaps 12 would be thinking, is he contagious? I think that's the big roar on here. This is this person, if we let him off, is he going to go and harm someone else, either directly or indirectly? He doesn't have a weapon, but he's crazy and he might be contagious.
Do we really need to answer the question?
Yeah, the trouble is,
the audience
Neil's already having trouble calling me 12. If I change my name to 13, he's going to be like, "What's going on?"
That's true. Yeah. Your name is related to that. 12 and a half. Schrodinger's fatality.
Yeah. How about I just I tell you what? I'll just perhaps I'll just sort of sweep his feet or whatever, sort of like facing the grubs or whatever, and the corpses, because I reckon this guy's done this. I'm going to sweep his feet and sort of shove him to the floor in a sort of a watch them burn kind of thing motion. And then I'm just going to follow Ira out. And and then go start picking up some fuel canisters to take back to the van, or searching the house with Ira's, whatever we decide. And then if the guy decides to run out that building, maybe I don't stop him. But if he just sits there and burns, yeah.
So be it.
12 and a half now.
12 and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
His fate is his own now. I haven't directly killed him, but...
Well, I think
I'm
as Phil suggests, I think we don't necessarily need to know the answer to that. I think you set the fire. 12, you sweep his legs away, kind of just leave him by the door. You turn. Ira's already on his way back, and I think we kind of fade to black, seeing the barn going up in flames. The petrol obviously the diesel catches really quickly, and we just see 12 and Mono walking away in silence from the flames, with Ira just in front, heading back towards the village, and we fade to black.
Amazing. And I'd love to know, those of you who've watched this episode, what do you think befell the older, slightly less mutated gentleman?
I mean the vulnerable pensioner, let's be real.
Vulnerable pensioner, yes. Yeah.
That was a nice little moral. I don't know that. So
absolutely.
You voted, and I knew this was going to happen. You voted one each of the options, so I had to decide. And I really didn't know which one to go for, so I went for something.
That was really cool.
It was good,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a difficult one to choose from, I thought, because there were certain things that I thought would lend it to this one and this
they were
one.
all quite interesting, weren't they, actually?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, so that was the first adventure in the survival kit for Vermin 2047.
We
I had a
didn't
lot of fun.
get as far as XP. It took longer than I thought.
Yeah, that's all good. We could cover that off in downtime, and we'll let you know the outcome of that in the next episode, where I believe we're going to be starting with the next adventure in the starter set in that survival kit, which is Aeolians.
And this one is a little bit more meaty. It's got a bit more to it, and I think it's going to be fun. It's actually there's two other scenarios in here, and they call it's a bit stupid. They call them linked scenarios, but honestly, they are so linked. It's basically one scenario. Like to only do one of them would just be doing half of it. It's just one scenario, really. But they've called it.
So it just carries on from pretty much what we've just done.
No, it's not linked. It's not so much linked to that. But there's two more which are each linked to each other. So
there's one slightly longer additional story.
Exactly.
Cool. Right. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, it's quite fun.
Let's do it. So, Neil, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. It always is.
Very welcome.
And I'm really looking forward to the next session. You'll be able to see that next Wednesday.
Next week.
Yeah. Chris, thank you very much for joining. It's been
no problem. It's been a pleasure
having you at the table, and Johnny as well. Always great to hang out with you. That has been Vermin 2047 for our Wasteland Wednesdays, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please let us know in the comments, like and subscribe, and all that jazz. Come and talk to us on Discord. It is free. You don't have to be a Patreon member to join Discord, but if you'd like to be a Patreon member, then we'll allow it. But it's been great. I hope you've had fun, and until next time, I've just got to say that I hope your dice rolls will be way better than mine. Thank you very much. Take care, everyone.
Bye.